Hi, good morning. It's Sunday, the 30th of May. We've got a bank holiday weekend and the sun's shining, which is really nice. I wanted to get out for our walk this morning and we were a bit late getting started because we had things to do. So I decided to bring the camera with me and vlog outdoors. I've never done this before. I'm on top of a hill to the south of Nottingham. So back behind me, about a mile down the road, is the big Trent Bridge. And if we went straight up there, we'd be heading towards Loughborough. And I want to just sort of give you a bit of a map of where the side of Nottingham I live on. So behind me over here at about 10 o'clock is the big Queen's Medical Centre and the Nottingham University. So I'd say as the crow flies, what, a mile and a half? It's not far, is it, Joe?
Oh, I don't know. Probably further than that, though.
2 miles?
Maybe
We've
2
walked
miles,
there
yeah, maybe
before.
2 miles, yeah.
Yeah, we've walked there plenty of times and walked back. So it's over there. Behind me here is Nottingham City Centre, and between me and Nottingham City Centre you've got the Nottingham Forest football ground, and then about a hop, skip and a jump further towards the city, literally, because you can see one football ground from the other, you've got the Notts County football ground. Over this way we've got Green's Windmill, which is really well known, and then sort of behind me but over that way a bit is the new Nottingham Castle, which has just been renovated at some massive expense. I'm thinking 30 million, but it could be 1 or 2 million now, and it's due to open on the 21st of June. So for the first time in like the 40 odd years I've lived in Nottingham, we'll now have to pay to get into our own castle, I think. And I don't think it's going to be cheap because they've built like a bit of Robin Hood land. So if you're into Robin Hood and you ever visit Centre Parks, which is about 14-15 miles down the road from us, then come into Nottingham and have a look at our castle, because it's supposed to be going to be spectacular. So yeah, I'm your tourist guide today for Nottingham. After saying last time how awful the city centre was and how dead it was, and we've been in again this week, and Joe said it was quite sad to see all the assistants in the shops just standing there looking at the door waiting for somebody to come in. I think most people are in a bit of a situation like me. They're not ready yet to be fully out there. I'm not coming out yet, folks. Do you know what was really strange? We got on the bus and we've been watching the buses pass us as we've been walking for months, and there's been a double-decker bus with probably 2 people on it, then a double-decker bus with 1 person on it, and then a double-decker bus with 2 upstairs and 1 downstairs, half the seats barriered off. But this week, when people are going into the city, the double-deckers and the single-decker buses are free for all. So you get on the bus and they're packed. And we got on at our local Asda stop, and it said, you know, it was quite full, and Joe said to me, there's 1 seat, but it's next to somebody else. And I'm like, I'm not ready for that. I don't want to sit cheek by jowl with a stranger. No disrespect to that person, I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but I'm just not ready to get that up close and personal with anybody. So we stood up, didn't we, until a nice Indian lady was getting off, and she told us, you know, you can have, and somebody moved and we got a double seat, and that was great. We were nearly in town by then anyway. But I am still apprehensive about like just letting everything go. I don't want to rush out there and fly to Portugal like some of my friends did last weekend. I'm just like, I'm not brave enough. It's been a long time and it's been a long wait, and I don't want to spoil my whole situation for a ha'porth of tar. I'd rather just wait, see what happens on the 21st of June, see whether Boris opens up more stuff or whether he gives us a bit of a delay like some people are speculating about. But I'm just not in a hurry to get back to, quotes, normal. I don't even know what normal is anymore. I think we're going to have a new normal, and that might be better than the old one. So, talking about my week, what kind of week have I had? I've had an okay week. Very busy, so hence I'm not vlogging until Sunday, and I would normally have done it on Friday or Saturday, so I've been very busy. But it's been good busy because we made a decision a couple of weeks ago to do something really cathartic and have an extreme clear out. So the first thing we did was we went through our bungalow like a dose of salt, and I was horrified how many things I had bought during the lockdown just because I was bored. I'd got brand new yoga mats, brand new yoga cushions, I'd got ornaments that I don't do ornaments. Why on earth was I buying ornaments? I'd got a pile of books this big. I'd got all sorts of stuff that I'll just buy that because I'm bored. And when we actually cleared out our pantry and our cupboards and our desks and wardrobes and stuff like that, well, we more than filled Joe's car. And we've got another almost carload to go to the Christian charity shop at Clifton, which we support. But it really shook me just how much of an old habit I have of making myself feel emotionally better by spending money. So I've started watching 1 or 2 channels on YouTube about frugality. Joe doesn't like the word frugal, do you?
No, it reminds me of like Scrooge.
So I've been going round, right? I'm trying to be more careful, more mindful with my money. And I've been going round for the last week and a half saying, I'm going to be a spendthrift, I'm going to be a spendthrift. Because I genuinely thought that thrifty means saving money, doesn't it? And that. So I genuinely thought that being a spendthrift meant I was going to be more mindful about my money, and I was going to spend less and probably invest in something sensible with my cash in future. And then Joe said to me a couple of days ago, he said, Mum, spendthrift means exactly the opposite to thrifty. It means a spendthrift is a person who is absolutely, totally and utterly careless with their money and would, you know, get into debt and spend money they don't have and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, Jiminy Cricket, I talk about being careful what you speak over yourself. And for 2 weeks I've been saying, I'm going to be a spendthrift, I'm going to be a spendthrift. And then one day I got up and I went to do some banking, and there was like a lot of money missing out my bank. And I was in panic stations. Well, I got onto the agents at my bank, and there had been a mistake made, and it was fine. It was sorted within like 10 minutes. But I went into panic mode. I thought, you've been speaking over yourself for like 2 weeks. I want to be a spendthrift. I want to be a spendthrift. I don't want to be a spendthrift. I want to be sensible with money. I don't want to accumulate any debt. I'm grateful for what I've got, and I don't need a mass of anything. I've got all that I need within my home, furniture-wise, electrical-wise, clothes-wise, shoe-wise. In fact, I've let a lot of the stuff go, electrical stuff go, I've let the shoes go and clothes go and all sorts of stuff, and I actually feel like 100% better for doing it. Because I firmly believe that clearing space in my house has cleared a massive amount of stress out of my head. Because all the stuff I was buying, and I was packing away in cupboards and putting in drawers under beds and all these things, places that were usually quite empty, they were just getting cluttered up with everything. And then when I came to go through it, I'm like, oh my God, you know, what am I doing? I like space. I don't want anything in my loft. I don't want anything in my coat closet and my coats, you know, and it's been a really cathartic exercise this week. So for anybody who's feeling a bit bogged down, like me, one of the things Joe did, which I was quite impressed with, and there was a pile of books on my desk, stuff that we'd read together during the last year and a half of lockdown. There were books that we were never going to read again. And you could bless somebody with them, but books are so heavy, and by the time you've paid all the postage to send somebody a book that they might then think, well, I didn't want that anyway. So Joe found an app. Was it called Ziffit?
Ziffit, yeah.
Ziffit. And I said to him, put all of these books through that app. I don't care whether you only get threats for them, just let them go. Because our local Oxfam bookshop is absolutely snided out with books. So we put them through the app, and he got nearly 35 quid back. So about maybe 15% of what they cost. But that 15%, that 35 quid, is better being paid into my bank, or Joe's bank, than sitting on a desk gathering dust where we're never ever going to read them again. Because there were things we wanted to read about, but we've got the information we wanted from them. So it's now like, let them go, you know? That was a good exercise. And now you're collecting books from Dad and other people, aren't you?
Yeah.
That they want rid of. And some we will take to the Oxfam bookshop if they want them, and some we will sell to Ziffit. You can also sell games, like gaming games. What do you call those gaming games? I think what they're called.
Gaming games.
Gaming games. You can sell CDs to them, you can sell DVDs to them. So if you've got a shelf full of DVDs that you haven't watched for the last 5 years, just see if you can get a bit of cash back, because you could always buy some new DVDs and enjoy them. And that's kind of how we're looking at it today. It's about bringing in the new, but unless we let go of the old, there's absolutely no room to bring in the new at our house. We don't have the biggest property, but it's plenty big enough. But honestly, we're starting to feel crowded. So, I mean, the next thing I might do out is my coat closet, because the other day I came across my Jules coat that I showed you probably 2 years ago. I'd put it at the back of the coat closet. You know, it's still got the price label on it. I've never worn it. And it's like, I bought that. But it's amazing what you can forget you've got, isn't it, Joe? We were amazed by some of the stuff we found that we just totally forgotten. And if we'd needed it, we'd have thought, well, maybe we have got one of those. Where is it? So it's just freed us up in so many different ways. Anyway, you probably want to know how my weight is this week. That's maybe what you're listening for. So as I say, food-wise, pretty much the same as last week. One day at a time is what I'm doing. I'm not beating myself up if I'm not perfect, because I'm trying to get away from my total focus being about food. Because when I was big, I thought about food the minute I woke up. I thought, what am I going to have for my breakfast? Or better still, what snack can I have before I get out of bed? And then once I'd had that snack, what can I have for my breakfast? And then, what about 11 says? Shall I walk down to Birds and get a cake? Blah, blah, blah. And my whole day, from waking up to closing my eyes at night, it was food. I just thought about nothing but food. And I do find that, although Slimming World is a plan for me and I absolutely love it and I'm never going anywhere else, I do find that if I let myself, I can become just as obsessed, so that all I'm thinking about is food. So what I'm trying to do is plan tomorrow, tonight, so that by tonight I know the food I've got in the house. We do a click and collect shop every 5 days. I know what's in the fridge, I know what's in the pantry, I know what's in the cupboards, I know what's in the freezer, so I know what I can eat. And I buy the shopping, so I know I've got control over what I'm buying. Occasionally I get it wrong, but not always. And what I'm doing now is trying to decide simply, before I go to sleep at night, what I intend to have tomorrow. So before I went to sleep last night, I thought, for my breakfast I'm going to have 20 grams of my simple nutty muesli. I'm going to have 10 grams of pine kernels, so that's 2 halves of each ounces. So I'm going to have 20 mils of goat's milk, so skimmed goat's milk. And when I woke up this morning, I made my breakfast, put it to soak in goat's milk. Then I went off and had my bath, washed my hair, made my bed, did all the other jobs, came back, and I have to say it was divine, because the dates within the muesli have sweetened the milk, you know. And I think I've been having the quarks, but actually it's too sweet for me. So it's overpoweringly sweet. I couldn't taste the pine kernels. The muesli was lovely, but the texture of it was lovely. But I like the stracciatella quark, and it's so sweet. And then I thought, well, I'll go back to having fire. Just go back to goat's milk like I used to do with beans. I might even get brave enough to have a cup of coffee. I've not had a cup of coffee for weeks. I just don't fancy it. But I might try the goat's milk in a milky coffee later to use up one of my 8 choices. And then I intend to have the other one as cheese. So I know what I'm having. I want the simple lunch today because I've got to go out straight after lunch. So I intend to have, wait for it, 8 rashers of streaky bacon done in a little cruising frying pan. And then I'm going to tip Heinz 5 beans into it to make like a cowboy breakfast for my lunch, very strange Sunday lunch. And then I'm going to grate 30 grams of cheese over the top of it. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy it. And then at tea time tonight, I've got a 6-sin vegan lasagna. So at the end of the day, I will have had 2 A choices, 1 B choice, 14.5 sins. And in my book, that's fine. And if I look at it, I'm thinking, do you know what, Jane? There's no speed in any of that. Today, I don't care. I don't care. As long as I'm eating free food, I'm not going to panic about having to top everything up with speed. I can only do what I can do for today. And my results this week were a £1 loss. So I think I fluffed my weight up a bit last week. I think I said I was 9 stone something. Wishful thinking. This morning, Friday morning when I weighed in for Slimming World, I was actually 10 stone, 8.5 pounds. So that was a loss of £1 from last week. Last week I lost £2. And if I can keep just chipping away and it keeps dripping off, you know, who knows? It may only be a few weeks or 3 months or something until I'm back into the comfortable body that I used to have. So that's it today. There's a lot of traffic on the ring road at the moment. As we've walked around our town, we've been plagued by a Lamborghini, haven't we, Joe?
Yeah.
Every road we've
today.
gone up, this chap, what colour is it?
Blue.
Blue Lamborghini. This chap in a blue Lamborghini has gone past us and made me jump out my skin. Because, honest to goodness, you put your foot on the accelerator, the damn thing just backfires over. I like, when it first went past me, I said to Joe, oh my God, what sort of old banger was that? And he went, Mum, that was a brand new
That's it now.
Lamborghini." That's him now. He's just gone along the ring road. Yeah. But honestly, I think he's just doing, you know, like some people do Tour de France. Well, he's doing Tour de South Nottingham, because he's just literally driving round and round the top end of our town. And I hope he's enjoying it, I hope he's having fun. But it's amazing, as soon as the first bit of sun comes out like this, the tops go down on the cars, the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris, they're all out, the Porsches. And we are very proud to have a 16-year-old Polar. And she's a dream, isn't she, Jo?
Yeah.
She's a good lass. So, yeah, you won't ever see me in a Lamborghini. I couldn't cope with all that noise. Right, so that's me. That's me for this week. There will, at some point in June, be another podcast. Now, I had one email from somebody who said they didn't think me podcasting was any better than me vlogging. I'm not sure what they thought about me vlogging. It doesn't matter whether it's any better or any worse. It's my experience. If I want to do a podcast and use Joe's artwork instead of my face, because eventually you'll get sick of seeing me, then I'm going to do it. And the podcast will be loosely based around why Joe can't do Slimming World anymore. Officially, it wasn't his choice, but we're going to talk about it, aren't we, Joe?
Yeah.
And yeah, have a great day, have a great week, have a great bank holiday weekend, and we'll see you very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.